What is up, my beautiful people? Hope you're all having a marvelous day. Exile451 here with your daily dose of Reddit Happy. Welcome to November, everyone. Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Hope all of you are as excited as I am. Doing something slightty different today. These posts aren't stories, but they are advice columns that I think you're really going to enjoy. Coming out of r/deciding to be better and r/self-improvement. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. This first one is from user Game Start Cancel. Real life is a game. This is your quick tutorial to start. In this game of life, there are two ways of living. The shadow life and the hero's journey. In prison or in freedom. As a slave or as a warrior. What makes the difference? Well, your mind. The strongest of all weapons. Everything in real life, independent of good and evil, holds potential energy. The greater the potential energy is, the greater its potential impact becomes. Nuclear force can be used to create energy or destroy the world. A knife can be used for cooking or killing. And what's the potential of your mind? Well, on the one hand, it can be used to find solutions by learning from the past or estimating the potential future. On the other hand, you can cut yourself by suffering from your regrets or the painful past and your fears of the potential future. The only reason why we suffer from our minds is that we lack control over it. Fallacy of the mind? Many of us get trapped into a certain fallacy. We think only because we possess a mind that we are also in full control of it. If I gave you a bow, would you be able to hit a target? If I gave you a programming software, would you be able to program? It's the same with our minds. You don't believe me? How often do we pull our swords unconsciously throughout the day? It's called inner chatter. We spend most of our time in that state. Try holding your mind in your sheath of presence for 10 minutes. That's called meditation. Most people won't manage. Heck, even I don't manage after years of training. That's how powerful our mind is. Controlling it is no easy game. After all, we are playing the game of life with the mind as our weapon. So how do you control your mind? Well, because life is a game, we need to complete the tutorial to our minds before we can even begin our adventure. Our goal is to master this world, at least to an extent where we stop cutting ourselves with regrets and fear. So, here are some tips to get control over our minds in this game of life. 1. Be in the present moment. If the mind is your sword, then the present moment is the sheath to that sword. But staying present is not easy. It's a skill that we have to develop and grind with full intention. Whenever you do simple housework or just walk from A to B, try to put your mind back into its sheath of presence. You can do that by simply focusing on your breath. Count your breath from 1 to 10 and continue this cycle. Every in-breath is an odd number and every out-breath is an even number. This way, your breath becomes the anchor that holds your mind in its sheath. By putting our swords back into its sheath of presence, we generate energy. We can use this energy for situations where we must pull our swords intentionally, cutting through the obstacles and challenges of life, instead of hurting ourselves and others with useless chatter. Grind the skill of meditation. Commit yourself to meditate every day from now on, at least for 1 minute. No matter what your life looks like, we all have 60 seconds to spare for such an important matter as controlling our minds. Simply choose a specific time and place the night before and start. 3. Past and future are only imagination. Don't regret the painful past and don't fear the uncertain future. It's all imagination after all. The only thing we can control are our actions and reactions in the present moment. 4. Laugh at this world. There are more than 100 different definitions of success, but there is only one aspect that always stays the same: being happy. You can never be successful if you are not happy. So instead of hoping for happiness, start enjoying this game. Don't allow your mind to cut through the joy of life. After all, life is too short and too precious to be wasted with useless suffering. Fifth and finally, the present moment is the only reality there is. So embrace this game with love in your heart. Love every person in it, for they teach you who you are. Love every addiction in it, for those teach you who you don't want to be. And love every obstacle in it, for those teach you who you can become. In this game, there are many ways to get control over your mind. And sooner or later, you will find more ways that fit your character. So become a hero in this game. How to become a hero in this game? Well, now, after finishing the quick tutorial into your mind, it's time to create yourself anew as a character. Grind your unique skill tree of life, beat your inner enemies, procrastination, ego, anxieties, resistance, etc., and master your mind. If you need more of this, just look up Game Start Central in Google. I'll be glad to help you if you have more questions. Have fun grinding. Wow, OP, that is quite the metaphorical overload there. But realistically, it's probably the most relatable one given today's reality and how many people know gaming terminology and whatnot. You are meant to be the hero in your own life. And while it doesn't just come down to only meditation being the thing that helps kind of balance you, center you, save you in a way, there's a lot of stuff here that really resonates with me and I'm sure with a lot of other people. And you're right, we do live life as either slaves or warriors. We do live life either imprisoned or free. It's all a matter of our perspective, and that comes down to just knowing who we are and what it is that we want. Thank you so much for this little quick tutorial write-up that you've done on really the way to find happiness and win at life. Wherever you're at right now, I really wish you the best, and I'd love to read more of what you got. This next post is from user Aaron Panzarella. But first, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. Show up for yourself in one small way each day. It will change your life. Do you want to live a better life? Are you not in the place you want to be? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? I get it. I've been there. And because of showing up for myself each day in some small way, I'm on a way different path than a few years ago. My life was tough since I was 4 years old. I had a lot of issues. My dad passing away catapulted me into being a victim. I claimed it and made myself the person who was broken beyond repair. I was raised by an imperfect human, as we all are, who did the very best she could under hard circumstances and a rough upbringing. She made me feel unworthy a lot because what you feel inward affects every relationship you have with everybody else. I'm here to tell you there's a way out of intense feelings of unworthiness. You were programmed a certain way from your childhood, and it usually tells you this: you're not good enough. You are enough as you are. But you have to take actions every day that reflect that worthiness, or else you'll never believe it and your world won't reflect that. I know what it's like to be so depressed you can't move, so anxious you're scared to leave the house, plagued with sickness and lethargy and addiction. I lived so much of my life in repressed grief. I lived so much of my life in regressed emotions in general. I never felt I was good enough, so I took action that reflected that. Took drugs that were poisoning my body, starved myself, and then binged when I couldn't handle the hunger, and beat up other people emotionally so I myself would feel superior for once in my life. I didn't love myself at all, and I didn't like myself even a little. It's not easy to shift when you've built up all these habits that are promoting your demise instead of your growth. It's uncomfortable to change. But uncomfortable things are most often the best ones for us. They have been for me and changed my life. The most successful people do things even when they don't want to, because they know their growth is priority over everything else. I consider myself successful these days based on a feeling of fulfillment instead of lack. I'm not rich or well-known, and I haven't accomplished anything others would consider majorly successful, but I don't care. I've conquered a lot of the stuff that kept me far from my real self, which is the biggest battle. When I began to change, I didn't want to meditate. I wanted to sit on the couch and drown myself in my phone. When I started to do celery juice daily first thing in the morning, I would have preferred to stay in bed. When I started doing my wellness classes and learning more, I would have liked to just sit and watch Netflix. But I didn't listen to the voices that told me I can be doing something else more enjoyable because I decided I was worth more than I was giving myself credit for. I decided that the stories I constantly told myself, I'm a victim, or I'm just unhealthy, or people will always leave me when I show them who I really am, so why even bother putting myself out there, simply weren't true unless I let them control my life. I'm here to say that you can change what you do and how you do it. This is the only place our power lies. Everything else is irrelevant. But please don't beat yourself up for what you've done or haven't done so far. You always did the best you could. Even if you thought you knew better, you wouldn't have done what you did if you actually knew better. And you are worthy right now, flaws and all. You're not changing who you really are. You're tearing down the belief systems that modeled you into someone who considers themselves the victim of life, the unworthy person who doesn't deserve any good. Small steps every day change your life. You are worth one small thing a day. Drink more water, journal your feelings, meditate for a minute, Google breathwork, and find something that fits. Join a yoga class, reach out to a therapist or close friend. Do something, because that puts the wheels in motion. I'm doing a lot more things every day that are good for me because I have the energy now. But I started small. I did what I could with what I had. What I had was withdrawal symptoms after being broken up with and an eating disorder in 2016. I started with noticing my thoughts and reading books on the topics I was interested in. My life has completely transformed a little over 3 years later. Everything I did when I didn't want to do it has built a foundation for love and compassion and feelings of worthiness. Frankly, if I can do it, anyone can. This is a gentle nudge to do something today that you know is good for you, but you're too afraid to fail, so you put it off yet again. Do the thing even if it's uncomfortable, even if you're scared. Your life will change if you follow through for yourself. And it's 100% possible and 100% up to you. For anyone who's been watching the channel a while, you know that I've been doing a lot of stories from this Redditor recently, but that's mostly because she posts constantly, and the stuff that she puts up is incredible. I love reading it. It is so inspiring. And frankly, she's right. No matter what feelings you may have of yourself, you are good enough. You don't have to let negative emotions or past mistakes or people's judgments of you define who you are and what it is that you want to be doing with your life. They don't get to define your happiness. You do. Always remember that. You are worthy of the good things in life. You just have to work for them. They're not going to be handed to you. OP, thank you so much again for sharing this little nugget of wisdom and for all the posts that you have been doing lately. I've truly appreciated it, and I know other people who watch this channel have as well. Really wish you the best. Hope you're doing well with wherever you're at, and please do continue to post because I really love reading your stuff. Those were posts from r/deciding to be better and r/self-improvement. And if you want more videos from either of those, then feel free to check out the playlist links in the description below. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.